Okay, let's get working on the plastic side of this plastic face channel letter. We're going to create a new file. The sheet I have it's a new sheet out there. It's a 96 inches by 48. This is the size of my sheet. The thickness of my sheet is 1/8 of an inch. We're going to leave this cutting down here at the 0, so we're going to come all the way through the material and make sure that we cut through the material. We leave this clicked on down here at the bottom. We're going to position our sheet and using the XY coordinates and work out this way. That's why we've got this selected and not something that would look like this. We'd be in a heap of trouble if we did that. We'd ruin the sheet. Now some applications may work, but not for this one. So I'm going to leave this over in the corner. Units, inches is what I grew up with, so that'll take care of that. Next step is to import the job, and here, this is the job. This job was done in a design program. I took the metal backs, I deleted the holes out of them, I put a .130 outline off of the metal back, and I used rounded corners. And that way, when I wrap my trim cap around the plastic, I don't have a sharp corner to poke through my trim cap. I'm just rolling in and out with the mouse to position this. So the next thing I want to do is position the letters on the sheet a little better. I'm going to go to Edit and then Nest. This part up here, again, is about my router bit and the clearance I need in between, so when I'm cutting this side of the letter, I don't cut into my other letter. So I like putting a 1/2 inch in there, and that'll be fine. The border gap is about how much material is going to be around the outside border. The 1/2 inch is fine there. This part here is we're going to nest from the bottom corner, just like we did in the other screen, and we're going to work our way out that way. If I click on this, we're going to do along the Y, which is going to bring these letters here. And let's take a look at that and see what it looks like. It looks horrible. So it's not going to allow me to utilize my sheet the way I want to. So let's go back to Reset Preview. We're going to click along X and then preview that. This is going to nest my job to the left side. It's going to give me all of this as a scrap piece, and that to me is a better utilization of my sheet. So we're going to go ahead and press OK on that. The next step we want to do is come on over to the right side of the screen, click on Toolpaths. I'm going to pin this so it stays in place. I want to go to here and just show you something. This was all about what we set up on the last screen, but this is what I want to show you. It's about the clearance of your Z height going from letter to letter and making sure we have enough clearance to get over a clamp or a piece of plastic that may have stuck up a little higher after a cut. We just want to make sure that the router bit is up high enough to get out of the way, so when we move across, we don't hit a clamp and break the bit. So I put this at 75. That gets over all of my clamps. You may have to go a little higher. The plunge Z2 is, this is about, we're going to start at 75. We're going to start at that number, which is here. We're going to rapidly plunge down to this number, and then we're going to pick up the plunge rate from our router bit. So I set this at 2, and that'll be good. Your home position, X and Y, keep these at 0. That way we start over here, and it keeps the material, it keeps the letters over that corner where we want them. Your Z is basically it's adding a couple of numbers together here to make sure that that's the height of where your router bit is. So you're good with that. We'll go up here to the toolpath part of it. Click on that. I'm set up for the 1/8 inch, but I want to show you how I got to there. I'm going to click on select. This is where all my plastic bits are. These are my aluminum bits. I've got all my bits set up for different materials. I want to use an 1/8 inch bit, and what we're going to do is the 1/8 inch bit is going to pick up this parameters of everything. It's going to spin at 22,000 RPMs. It's going to go at a feed rate of 120 inches a minute, and it's going to have that plunge rate at 20 inches a minute. So we'll go ahead and select that. Now, the reason why I want to use an 1/8 inch bit is that it will get into the corner of these letters and reduce any shadowing that I may have. It'll get deeper into the corner of these letters, and it'll look better on a shadow problem. Okay, so this is important here. Make sure you're cutting to the outside. You don't want to cut to the inside, or everything's going to be too tight and it won't fit. I'm going to use a climb, which is cutting the CLN router will cut around the letter in a counterclockwise direction. If I did a conventional, then the CLN router would go around in a clockwise direction. Basically, this is about where the clean part of the cut is. You want your clean part to be on the letter and not on the scrap piece. So with the bits that I use, I find that going around it with a climb works great for me. I want to change that to 1 because it's the first profile that I'm running. We'll go ahead and calculate this, and I forgot to select it. So you press OK, you drag a box around it, that selects everything, and now we can go ahead and calculate it, and that puts the tool path around it. And so now we're ready to close out of this, and we're going to save it. This is where we save it at, this little icon that looks like a little floppy disk. We'll go ahead and save that. It's going to have only one profile. It's using the 1/8 inch end mill for plastic, saving it in the automatic tool changer, and we'll go ahead and press save toolpath. Let's see if I click on, let's call it insurance. I know it's in there somewhere. Here we go, plastic, and I'm just going to delete this part of it, and I'll go ahead and save that. So that's saved on this computer. You can save it on your server. Whatever you do, wherever you save it, you're going to grab it, you're going to put it on a floppy disk, on a thumb drive, or download it from the server. Save it on the computer of the CLN router, import it into the CLN router, and start cutting your job. And that's pretty much it for the plastic face channel letter job. Okay, I want to thank you.